Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a full nursing, breastfeeding, pumping routine and schedule. As you guys saw, I just nursed my baby and it was 7:30 a.m. Now it's about 8. And I'm setting myself up to pump. So I'm strapping on my pumping bra because I'm getting my son ready for school, so I have to get things done. Usually if it's either earlier, and I'm surprised my baby didn't wake up until now to nurse. She's been waking up like around 5 or 6. But I always pump right after, and if I don't have to get my son ready for school, I'll strap on like at the bed. And just pump from bed. But since I have stuff to do, I'm going to be using my baby Buddha, using flanges, regular, where are my flanges? Okay, I gotta find my flanges. Like there, but, oh my god, mom brain, I have them on. You guys saw me put them on too. Anyways, using bottles. Typically my good side, I can pump a lot on, so I will use a bigger pumping bottle, but I nursed on that side, so I'm using 2 like 6-ounce bottles. I know my Slacker side, the max I'll get is like 4 ounces. So connecting myself up. Need to be hands-free, and then I wear like, so I am connected right now, and then I'll wear a really stretchy shirt so I can overlap it and do what I need to do. Let me put this hair up. I look so tired. And my Haka shell, I collected this much from one side while I was nursing on the other. Alright, I need to go downstairs, so let's go together. I did not get to charge this enough, so hopefully I can get my full 30-minute session off of this. I did not charge this last night. So I usually pump every 3 hours. I try not to go more than that. If I do, I'll go maybe 4 hours max. And the only reason why I probably wouldn't do that is if I'm literally in the middle of something that I can't move away from. So I'll tell you guys about the settings I use. So right now I'm using the baby Buddha. I told you guys I was using, you know, regular pumping bottle with flanges. I always use flanges first thing in the morning. No, like that has to be like a must. If I wear wearables, there has to be a reason for me wearing wearables first thing in the morning. Wearable cups don't really empty me out. So, and I think it's just because of the positioning, because they move. It's in my bra and stuff. So they'll kind of like move from position. So I just use flanges first thing in the morning. But on the baby Buddha, the first 2 minutes I'll use it on stimulation mode and on level 1. And so now it's on 2 minutes. So then I'll change it to expression mode and I leave it on level 1 too. I can handle higher, probably max maybe level 3, and I will do that with wearable cups, because on wearable cups you don't feel it as much. So I'll use, you know, so I'll use a higher level. I might end up staying with these on until I have to, like, being in the car. I might have to unplug myself. I might have to unplug myself while in the car. if, you know, this makes it to 30 minutes.
Okay, so the struggle was real with pumping this morning because my baby Buddha died since I forgot to charge last night. So then since I was like in between of, you know, getting my son ready and packing his stuff for school, I was able to take a few minutes and connect to my wall pump because all I have to do is just take the tubing connected out of the baby Buddha and connect it to the Medela pump. So I kind of sat there for like 10 minutes. So I think I pumped on the baby Buddha for probably like 8 or 9 minutes, pumped on the Medela for 10 minutes, maybe here pumped, like I was charging the baby Buddha while I was on the Medela, and I pumped maybe another like 15 minutes here. So this is what I've got. I might reset the clock and just pump in 2 hours just because I know I didn't completely empty myself out. But on my right side I got about 100 mLs, and my left side, which is the side I nursed on, I got 110. So we might reset the clock in like 2 hours.
This is yesterday's pumped milk. I have 27 ounces in here, so I'm about to make bottles. My favorite bags, the Up and Up brand from Target. The best. They freeze the best, like super flat, and save so much space in the freezer. This is my freshly pumped milk that I just pumped, and we're starting the process all over again. And it's basically now time for work, but I'm gonna, as my computer is booting up, I'm gonna talk a little bit about supplements I take, what I eat. It's basically time for work now. I'm going to talk a little bit about some supplements that I take, and I'm talking kind of low because my baby's sleeping. I can't wait to get a mic for my camera so you guys, so I don't have to like whisper or get super close like this, because honestly it's kind of weird this close. But anyway, So I don't take much supplements, like I don't take lactating supplements, period. The only two supplements that I take, and I just started taking them, is just prenatal and a probiotic. The probiotic I always took even before being pregnant and stuff. I just started taking them again because I think it helps me digest better, and especially with taking prenatals, because of the folic acid, it can constipate you, so probiotics will help loosen that up. But I just started taking the prenatals maybe like 2 weeks ago again, and honestly I think that made a difference in my milk supply and made it go up. I'm gonna link up above. I tried to increase my supply like a few weeks ago because my supply like drastically dropped all of a sudden. I don't know why. And I was trying to basically stimulate to increase my milk by just strictly nursing for 48 hours, and it did work. I strictly nursed and then pumped right after, so that definitely helped, and it worked to increase my supply. However, it was still kind of teeter-tottering after that. And then I went to my annual women's health appointment, and my OB/GYN asked me, are you still breastfeeding? I said yes, like I'm still pumping. And she said, are you still taking your prenatals? I said no, I stopped that a long time ago. And she's like, you might want to make sure you take your prenatals because it's just going to help with your overall milk supply and, how do you say, like the nutritional part of your milk. It's going to be more nutritional for your baby. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll keep doing it. It won't hurt because I still had a whole bottle left. So I started taking them, and honestly I saw an increase in the supply. And then I read, literally like a few days ago, I read a post about a mom that was doing everything she could to increase her milk supply, and nothing was working. She was taking all the lactation supplements and nothing was working. She bought the brownie, she bought like everything, and nothing was working. Come to find out, it was because your body cannot, like, all those lactation products are to increase your milk supply, but if there's nothing in your body to pull from to stimulate that milk, then no milk is going to be created. Basically, when you're pumping, you're taking proteins and energies from yourself to create the milk supply. So if you are lacking in vitamins, in protein, in carbs, in everything in your body will not stimulate milk production. Like it can't create milk from nothing. So I think that adding the vitamins back into my body increase my milk supply, because now my body can pull from more. Like it can pull more from me in order to create more milk. So you guys saw that milk, that bag of milk I just froze. I have barely been bagging milk. All of November I did not bag. I bagged maybe 2 times, and it was early November, and I used it the same day or the next day, because I ended up the next day not making enough. So I had been dipping into my supply. Now it's December, we're halfway through December, and I've been able to bag milk like every other day, at least 1 bag, but that's the most I bag. The most milk I bagged, that's 5 ounces I just bagged. I was able to bag like 2 or 3 ounces so far this month. So the fact that I just froze a 5-ounce bag of milk, I'm so proud. I am so proud of myself to getting my milk supply back up, because I wanted to stop by 6 months pumping, and now I can't because I've been dipping into my milk supply. So let's see if I can make it to 8 months and see how much I can freeze. If I'm not freezing enough where I'm happy like I used to be freezing, then we'll see how far I go. But now I think my goal would be 8 months, to pump till 8 months, use my milk supply, and that's it. Use my frozen milk supply. So for nutrition, I try to start off the day with protein. So I've been drinking these protein milkshakes from Aldi. They're like the Aldi version of, I think it's the Fairlife protein shakes. This is so freaking good, and so much better than their regular protein shakes that they have. And I drink one basically every morning, at least the mornings when I'm at home, like when I have to work, because I know I don't have time to make a full on high protein breakfast because I have the baby. So I'll start off with a milkshake. And I actually had a little bit of time to just prep this little thing. So I have some sourdough with cottage cheese and avocado. So I have a little bit more protein there, healthy fats, and some carbs to sustain myself. And usually I like to drink the protein shake like as soon as I wake up while I'm pumping, or like right when I'm done pumping. But obviously I was in the car, I was kind of in a rush, so I'm drinking it now. But so I already took my supplements. I need to put in how much I pumped in my app. Where is my phone? It's like instantly I feel better after drinking a sip. So I basically pumped 7 ounces this morning. That's pretty typical after nursing. On mornings where it's a slower morning and I don't have to get my son ready and I don't have to do all these things, I power pump. So that's usually on the weekend. I'll power pump the first pump of the day. But what I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to reset the clock and pump at the 2-hour mark instead of 3-hour mark, only because I don't think I completely emptied myself. So I think I might pump at the 2-hour mark just to reset the clock and make sure that I empty myself out, because you want to make sure you empty yourself out. If you do not completely empty out your boobs, it will basically tell your body that you don't need that extra milk. So going that long period of time without expressing the rest of that milk will basically tell your body to stop making more. So I'm going to reset the clock and pump in 2 hours. That way it tells my body like, oh, I actually do still need that. Yeah, I will check back in when we need to pump again. So it is now the 2-hour mark, or a little past the 2-hour mark. It's like 2 hours and 5 minutes. But I have my pumps on same way as I had them on earlier. Same way as I had them on earlier, like with the flanges. And I'm gonna use my baby Buddha because I think my baby's gonna be waking up soon. So I want to be able to make sure I can get up and tend to her. So I didn't want to be, I was gonna connect to my Medela, which, no, I'm gonna stay with the baby Buddha because then I'll have to heat up her bottle and stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and start. And like I said, I've said this in that one video where I was trying to increase my milk supply, but I use the Huckleberry app to track all of my pumping and feeding schedules and how much I pump. So I do set a timer on this. Even though this auto shuts off at 30 minutes, sometimes I want to go a little longer. So I'll keep the timer running, or like I'll power pump, leave it off, and then turn it back on, but leave the timer on so I know how long I'm waiting between power pumps, you know? So starting it now. And we'll check in to see how much we pumped and when I gotta feed her. I was actually able to pump in peace. My baby didn't wake up yet. I'm gonna keep putting this to charge because it wasn't fully charged yet, but at least we made it to the 30 minutes. Just completely unplug myself. Side, we got like 45 mLs. And remember, this has only been 2 hours, so we can't expect a lot. Although my right side is my slacker side, but still. 45, actually it kind of looks like it's 50 now, because whatever milk is stuck in the flange or whatever is dripping down. So it looks like it might reach 50. And on the side, what is that? That looks like 40. So 40 and 50. So we pretty much got a total of 3 ounces there after 2 hours. So that's pretty good with me. But we are at 10 ounces so far. And it's only 10:51 a.m. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys, I started at 10-ish. And I started at 10:18. My first pump was at 8:11. The second pump is at 10:18. Honestly, it's a good thing I did a reset because my usual pumping schedule is like 7, 10, 1, 4, 7, and then 10 again to give me 6 pumps in a day. Again, sometimes it's just I start a little late because I be tired, and I just try to sleep in. And a lot of times, usually, like for me to get up that early is because like my baby wakes up to nurse early, so then I'll pump right after that. But she woke up a little late today, and now I am so thirsty. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is to drink water. Like, don't drink water where you're drowning because it's not going to help. You need to drink water when you're thirsty. So right now I am very thirsty since I just pumped. I usually get really thirsty while I'm pumping or after I'm pumping. So I'm about to go drink some water. I'm actually going to fill up my jug right here because I haven't filled it yet. So I'm going to go fill this up. I want to drink some water and we'll check back in a little bit.
It's feeding time. It's feeding time. My girl. So she always drinks a bottle. My girl. She drinks bottles during the day. And I nurse at night, throughout the night. And then first in the morning, like how you guys saw today. Okay, so like I was saying, she drinks bottles throughout the day. So she'll drink 4 bottles during the day. And she nurses through the night and like the first feeding of the morning. She rarely wakes up anymore during the night. She pretty much sleeps through the night pretty well. Though last week she was going through a sleep regression. I definitely think teeth are coming soon. She was waking up a few times in the night. I didn't nurse her every time because I didn't want her getting used to trying to be nursed back to sleep. I was kind of letting her settle herself, and she was until the point where like I knew she was just so awake she wasn't going to go back to sleep unless she nursed. So this is her first bottle of the day. She usually feeds every 3 to 4 hours. On the longer stretch of 4 hours, it's because she probably had a pretty long nap. So yeah, so she pretty much has 5 to 6 feedings a day. It just depends how often, like, I mean, in a 24-hour span. It just depends on how often she wakes up through the night or in the morning, how early she wakes up in the morning, how late she goes to sleep in the day for her long stretch. But that last bottle tends to be around my second to last pump of the day or closer to my last pump of the day. It's somewhere in between. It's either like right at my second to last pump of the day or in between my second and last pump of the day. There's 6 ounces in this bottle, so she does drink 6 ounces in a bottle. However, only one of her 4 bottles is 5 ounces, and that's because I'll usually feed her a little something and then give her that bottle after. So when it's getting close to feeding time, whether it's like 10 minutes before the 3-hour mark or right at the 3-hour mark, if I don't see that she's too fussy, I will feed her something, whether it's like the rice cereal or oatmeal. It's mostly oatmeal because I don't have the rice. I have oatmeal, or I'll make her baby puree, which she has pear right now. I made her pear this week, so I do have one more pear container of baby puree. So I'll give her that, and then once she eats that, I'll let her like kind of digest that a little bit and then give her that 5-ounce bottle. Because if I give it to her right away, she won't drink the full 5 ounces, and I want to make sure that she is full, because the more calories that they have during the day, the longer their stretch will be at night. At least that's how it's been with my kids. Like, the better they eat through the day, the better they sleep. Okay, it's time for me to pump. I'm about to do something that might be a little crazy, but I had watched this lady that has been pumping. She's also like a lactation lady, and the Medela pieces are hard to take off, but when you're using Medela parts, like the tubing is super long with your baby Buddha, so she said cut it. I don't want to cut too much of it because I can't get this thing off, because like basically I use an adapter. Like I use this to plug into, where's the other piece? Like baby Buddha parts come apart and they're meant to come apart so they can be customizable to like any pump. But like this sometimes bends a lot, so I don't want it to like mess up my stuff. So I think I'm just gonna fucking cut this off. I don't know how much I want to cut off because I don't want to cut off too much. Maybe like this much. I did it. There's no going back. And then shove this in there. Coño. Go. My hands are slippery now. Just shove it in there. And now we have a new end. But it is 1:15, so I'm like 3 minutes early for my next pump, but that's okay because I'm trying to like slowly push it up, so I'm like at the hour mark. So that's okay. We're about to start pumping now. Let's make sure it works. I mean, I'm sure it is. Yes, it works. Yes. All right, we'll check in when I'm done. Telling you, tired is what I am. We just finished pumping, so let's see what we got. Right side, focus. Are you focusing? Can you see? It's like 2 ounces, I think 60 milliliters, right? Yeah, it is. The other one. About the same on the other one, right? Yeah, also, actually, that one has a little more. Maybe 65, closer to 70. Actually, that might be 70. Yeah, we've got like, let's just say 65. 65 mLs, 65 and 60, so about 4, so a little over 4 ounces on this pump. And this was after 3 hours, or a little under 3 hours since I shortened my time. Oh my goodness. We're at 14.37 ounces pumped with only 3 pumps. And I started pumping at 1:15. And I want my next pump to be at 4 o'clock. So, so that next one will be pushed up a little sooner too. Okay, so let's do a room tour, I guess, of my stations, my pumping stations, breastfeeding stations, everything that I need to make me successful in my breastfeeding pumping journey. And disclaimer, you do not need everything that I have. Absolutely not. Like with my son, my first time around, I did not have not even a third of the things that I have right now. All of this came from just over time. Like I kept some stuff from when I had my son. I got things now, like, because I was just more knowledgeable this time around. There were certain things that I wanted to make my life easier. being a mom of two, that I knew it wasn't going to be as easy as being a mom of one. Being a mom of one, you definitely have more free time. Being a mom of two, there is none. Like, you are on go 1,000% of the time. So yes, let me be the one to de-influence you from getting everything I have. Now, it may seem cool, and if I influenced you, cool, that's fine, you could get it too. But what I'm saying is, you don't need all these things to be successful. With my son, I only had a wall pump and a hand pump, and that's all I used. I was a crazy oversupplier with my son. I pumped till 10 months, and that wasn't even by choice, it was kind of by force. I got the COVID shot and it depleted my milk supply, so I pumped until 10 months, but I still had a good freezer stash that I was able to feed him up until 1 year. So let's just go through the stations in my room. Baby girl just got fed, so she's good. So we're going to my nightstand, view my beautiful empty bottle collection. I collect empty bottles on my nightstand until it's trash day. Here we have my handy dandy Medela wall pump. It's always plugged in the corner there, and I can easily just grab it here and sit right here when I'm going to pump. I have this little station. Honestly, the station was bigger. I just condensed it to be more realistic things that I need while I am in bed or when I first wake up in the morning. So these are kind of like my nursing, like, situation things. So I have my Haka shell. So that way, bless you, when I'm nursing, I can hook it onto one boob. I have the other one, but it's I just washed it. I have my Frida hand pump with the lid, because sometimes if it's in the middle of the night that she's nursing, I would like to pump the other side so that way I don't wake up engorged for the next feeding on the one side. Here I have some nipple care, the nipple balm, saline spray. Here I have a pumping spray just in case my nipples are kind of dry and to avoid friction when I am pumping. I rarely use it, honestly. Here I have a little nightlight, which honestly, I wish I would have bought this here, let me turn off this light. I wish I would have bought this earlier in my pumping journey, as soon as I came home from the hospital, this needed to be with me, because yeah, we have the hatch and it turns on, but the light is just, it doesn't, it's too bright or it's too dim. It's not a good nightlight to have. This one, I can at least bring it with me in the bed, and I'll just tuck it behind me so that way it doesn't bother my husband in bed. And it's just convenient. I'll lay it next to her like this, and then just quickly change her diaper, pick it back up and put it back over here. Just turn it off and put it back over here. So I love that thing. And then here are my supplements, which you guys saw earlier. I take them first thing in the morning, so they're there where I can see them, because if I don't see them, I'm not taking them. Turn this light back on. My fridge. So you definitely don't need a big fridge like this. The reason we got a big fridge like this is because this eventually is going to go to the basement, to our bar in the basement. For my son, we had a small tabletop fridge up here, and eventually once he was down to just one bottle in the morning. So my son did not really nurse because he had a terrible latch, so he had bottles 24/7, in the middle of the night and everything. So we needed a fridge for middle of the night feedings. Once he got down to only one bottle, either in the middle of the night or in the morning, early morning, we downgraded to a small fridge, they look like the makeup skincare fridges, but they get a little colder, the good ones. So we had that, and that eventually died. So but it died just in time. So we got rid of that. The small fridge, we ended up selling it because I honestly thought I wasn't gonna have any more kids. So we got rid of it. And so we definitely knew we wanted another fridge, because it was just so convenient having a fridge up here, especially with pumping in the middle of the night. There was no way I was going to be running up and down the stairs in the middle of the night to put milk away. So we got this fridge because we are going to keep it and we're going to use it in the bar downstairs. And honestly, I love it because it has a freezer. So this is what the bottom looks like. So right there I have like my collection of milk of what I've been pumping throughout the day. Here I have her bottles that are left. That was like some pump milk that I pumped after I had drank alcohol, and I'm leaving it there because I'm going to bathe her in it probably tonight. And then here's the freezer, and this is why I love having the freezer here, because I can fill this up with frozen milk and then eventually take it downstairs when I'm good and ready, once basically this fills up. So, and I have like my boob things here for like after sessions, because new studies show that it's good to use cold breast thingies after you pump to help heal your boobs for until the next session. On top here I have basically my everyday use items. So pumping bottles, my collection cups. I have an extra set of these if these are clean. I have an extra empty bottle here just in case like she so happens in the middle of the night to want to drink a bottle and I know I had just pumped and my boobs are empty, so I can just make her a bottle. I have some milk storage bags and a pen, and then I just throw in my baby Buddha in here with the tubing, and then I have some extra lids for my pump bottles that are in the next section. And then I just threw my pumping bra on here because this is kind of where I set myself up. I've got my Mom Cozy pumps right here. I just washed the parts. I just charged them. They kind of just sit here for whenever I'm going to use them. And then I have a bottle of hand sanitizer right there. In my bathroom, of course, we have a wash station. So I have my soap here, my stand, my brush, and these are the parts that I was just using, that I'm using right now, and these are the bottles that I use regularly, basically to pump the smaller size. And yeah, that's basically what makes my life easier, because if you think in the middle of the night I'm going to be running downstairs to wash bottles, you're mistaken. So yeah, again, you don't need all these things, but what I highly suggest is getting a mini fridge, and it doesn't have to be one like this. It could be one of those like tabletop ones, like the little skincare ones that look like skincare, but there's ones that are stronger. Like if you look it up, there's skincare makeup fridges, and then there's other fridges that get colder than those. Get those if you're really only pumping like once or twice in the middle of the night, because you don't need that much space. Definitely make a little station for yourself in your bathroom if you have a master bathroom. If you don't, if you all share a bathroom, then maybe like get a bin where you could throw all your pump parts and keep it under the sink, and then be able to wash your parts and bottles and stuff in the middle of the night. So that way you don't have to rush all the way to your kitchen. Oh, I forgot to show you guys one more thing, but another highly recommended thing is having a little nightstand station, of course. I know sometimes I've seen people do like the bedside nursery rolling carts. I feel like that's doing too much. I tried to. I remember starting to build one while I was pregnant, and then I looked at it and I'm like, why? Like, why would I do that? Because my nightstand has plenty of space for the things I know I actually need. My bassinet holds my baby stuff underneath, so I don't need an extra rolling cart for that stuff. But let me show you one more thing. This is definitely something you don't need, but it's kind of just what I have. So on the bottom, I just have all of my extras. This is my Mom Cozy M6 that didn't really work for me, but one day I want to try using it again just to see. Have my extra pump parts, extra pumping bottles, extra cups, and just in case. I've got my bigger haka that I actually do use pretty regularly. I just keep it in here because it's pretty big. I've got the baby Buddha pumping parts, which I absolutely hate these flanges because they don't come apart. So they're, one, a pain in the butt to clean, and two, so bulky. Like you need a specific bra to use those. So I don't use them at all. And then I have a bunch of extra pump parts in here, like flanges, inserts, what all that have you. We've got some pumping bras here, and then a bunch of these stupid motif bags that I hate so much, but then of course also the ones that I do love, so I have those in there. A bunch of milk storage bags, and nipple pads. I do keep a few milk storage bags in the kitchen, but honestly I do all of my bagging up here because this is where I do all of my pumping. This is where I pour all of my bottles. This is where I basically deal with my boobs the most. I don't really go downstairs to the kitchen. I'll do this in the kitchen if we're basically gonna have a busy day, which is usually on a Saturday. If I know we're gonna have a day where in the morning I immediately go downstairs with all my milk I pumped previously, make bottles downstairs, and then freeze extra milk. But it's pretty soon we're gonna have our next pump session, so we'll check back in when I do that. All right, next pump is done. Right. What is that? Kind of sad. Like 50 mLs. Around the same. So I definitely need to eat a little bit more. I don't have enough protein in me to make more. I made some chicken fajitas, like one pan recipe of chicken and onions and peppers to eat as fajitas. And then I will be doing my next pump at the movie theaters. So we'll check in then.
What are you doing?
But go.
No, not without you.
Go. Go.
Okay, so I pumped in the movie theaters. This is how much I got. I got a total of like 130. 80 on my left and 50 on my right. But I pumped for an hour because those wearable pumps, I don't know. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't for me. I pumped my first 30 minutes, I only got one letdown. The second 30 minutes, I got another letdown. But usually I have 3 letdowns in a session. So we're gonna pump then when we get at our 3-hour mark, because that will be the last pump of the day. So
Okay, it is now 11 p.m. I just finished my last pump of the day, and I did a power pump for the last pump of the day. So let's see what we got. And I used my wall pump, Medela wall pump. So we got 50 mLs on the right. Right? Actually, no, we got 60, so we got 2 ounces. And we got like 2.5 on the left. So between 70 and 75 mLs on the left. So here's the total for right now, my last pump of the day. Putting it in my app. And it looks like our total pump for the day is 26.71 ounces. So, and there she is. We've got our milk for tomorrow's bottles and probably a little bit more for freezing. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining me in on my pumping routine, my pumping schedule. I would include nighttime nursing sessions, but I highly doubt my baby's gonna wake up for nursing sessions tonight because she literally just had her last bottle for the night. So I think she might give us a long stretch until maybe 6 a.m. and then we're pretty much at the 24-hour mark. So thank you guys for watching. If you want more videos like this, more tips and videos like this, please let me know. I will, of course, keep making the content for you, even if you don't ask. I'll just give you different variations. But thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on my next one. Bye. Good night.